Welcome to the SDA Cooper Hospital. The hospital was founded in 1963 by Dr. Nehemiah Cooper. During its early years, the hospital mostly catered to the elite in the city of Monrovia, Liberia. Not that the ordinary people were excluded, but they could not just afford attending. The Seventh-day Adventist Church acquired the hospital from the Cooper's family in 1983. Upon acquiring the property, the family requested that the church retain the Cooper name as a memorial. The church consented and renamed the hospital from Cooper Clinic to the Seventh-day Adventist Cooper Memorial Hospital. Over the past 5 years, the hospital has experienced a huge overturn with regards to patients and infrastructure. The physical condition and appearance of the hospital building is poor inside and outside. Consequently, the hospital has been losing its patients and revenues.
My appointment took effect February 1st, 2018. I took over SDA Cooper Hospital not at the best of time. In fact, I met 3 proposals on the table: to downsize the main hospital and relocate it to the eye center, to cut down staff by 50% and pay off those who have served low term if they qualify, to cut down inpatient meal, and have families bring them food. Those 3 proposals aren't the best for the hospital. We cannot downsize because Cooper Memorial Main Hospital is a 46 bed and the eye center is just 20 bed. It is like destroying one facility and encroaching on the other one, which destroy them both.
This center where we presently are is a specialized place that was opened in 2004, but prior to that we started in the space at the knee hospital. After this place was constructed by the Christopher Blind Nation, CBM, it was turned over to the hospital, after which we came this way. Now this organization did do training, the personnel, and also provided equipment to run the place.
I'm going to speak to you today about SDA Cooper Hospital, which has been a facility for the last almost 60 years now, here in Monrovia, Liberia. It is a well-known hospital for its original work under Dr. Cooper, but I think in the last 5 years or so, we've lost a lot of our patient base. That was probably a missed opportunity that we did not to advertise our presence more widely. Whether that is with local productions, Facebook, radio, and things like that. But most people I talk to know of the hospital and its previous reputation, but they don't realize that it's still open. I think this is one of the main reasons why we've had a serious decline in patient load over the last 5 years. It started before Ebola, but of course Ebola was quite a disaster for the whole country and for us as well.
We cannot cut down the staff because they already are receiving wages that are not livable. By that means wages when you cannot pay your child's school fee and still buy a bag of rice. We can't cut them off. It's not going to be fair to them. We cannot cut away patient meals because some of our patients are admitted with chronic hypertension and some come with diabetes. They need special meals and the family may not be in position to provide those meals, so we can't cut those off.
After a period of 9 to 10 years, they decided that we're at least mature enough to maintain the place and sustain the place on our own. So since 2009, we have been running this place as a church place, private place, and on our own.
As it is, we're currently struggling with balancing the needs of the patients we see, which tend to be extremely complicated patients, with our expenses for running the hospital. There's probably 3 or 4 reasons why it's difficult to run the hospital right now. A lot of the expenses have significantly increased, namely fuel for the generator. Also, building and maintenance costs have gone up quite a bit. Drug and medical supplies have gone up. And now that we're far enough out of Ebola, there are very few international donations that can help cover some of those expenses. So all of that adds up together.
What we do know is that the expense we are making for electricity and for drugs and medical supplies, and also for maintenance of the building, we can cut those off or reduce them and still have money to sustain the hospital.
Repair and maintenance costs on the main hospital building has kept increasing in recent months. The administration is spending US $6,000 per month on generator fuel only. This does not include maintenance costs. $10,000 US per month for drugs only, and $14,000 United States dollars for employees' monthly salaries, which is often late.
We did have a plan based on recommendations from teams of hospital builders, master electricians, engineers that looked at our structure, our electrical system, plumbing system, roofing, etc., as well as the eye hospital, which is much newer. It's only 10 years old, and made the recommendation that on a temporary basis that we change our operations over to the eye hospital. This would have a number of advantages. Number one, we're not filled to capacity, and we haven't been since 2014. So in general, our patient load would be easily accommodated at the eye hospital without encroaching on the eye current patient load. We could consolidate all of our departments, and the number one advantage would be to decrease our maintenance costs of this building.
We are planning to have solar generator installed on the hospital to provide electricity in the day when the sun is off. And we are also planning to have Liberia Electricity Corporation power to power the hospital at night so that we have 24-hour electricity. And we're going to streamline the drug purchase in this hospital so that we will just pay for essential drugs, because we have had experience of $9 million worth of drugs expiring in 2017, which is a loss of revenue.
The personnel that they trained before, quite a number has left. And for seeing patients, we are only two here. I, the ophthalmologist, and then you have an ophthalmic nurse, which I think is very overwhelming, because sometimes I do outreach and the ophthalmic nurse is left alone. Sometimes here we have 40 or 60 patients at times, and we have to run them through the day. We have surgical days that we do Monday, Wednesday, and while I'm in the theater, she's alone. So you see now that the manpower shortage is very high on our list.
The difficulty of getting quality supplies here. For instance, our incinerator didn't work after the donation from International Medical Corps in 2016. It actually never worked. And that then at the end of last year, Christian Health Association of Liberia helped us to rebuild a new incinerator. And it's working great, except for now it's starting to fall down. It's not quite a year old. So that is just one example of the challenges we face with all of our equipment. And that's including our medical equipment, business equipment, as well as the physical building structure.
With these changes we make and these things we want to install, we think we can sustain this hospital without even moving from where we operate. This is where we are. It's going to cost us some money, but it's a one-time investment that will keep us for many years.
International organization, we are doing everything free for people. So our operations were based at the main hospital, at the main center. And also we did outreaches into many counties, Grand Bassa, Riverside, into Bombay, Margibi, Bapolo, Cape Mount, Bombay. So that's where we used to go, even going there with surgeries and other things. But since the NGO phased out, we are not financially capacity to do that.
We have a leaking roof. We have a very hodgepodge layout of the hospital. So some of those factors make it a little bit difficulty to improve the appearance of our hospital. So the move to the eye hospital was designed to temporarily alleviate some of those issues. Plus, it was a step towards limiting our costs so that we could turn our focus to building a new hospital. Without the extreme maintenance costs of this building, we were hoping that we could regain our financial footing and then relaunch our healthcare plan from a better position strategically.
In view of the high cost of operation, the hospital board voted in December 2017 to downsize the main hospital and relocate to the eye center, cut down staff by 50%, and pay off eligible employees with long tenure of service, and take away inpatient meals and have patients' families bring them food while in admission. The board's decision was intended to be implemented before the end of March 2018. Meanwhile, the new administration has asked the hospital board to postpone implementation of the decision for 6 months in order to seek other options that could save the hospital.
When CBN was here, they also used to help us with salary, to help incentives, salary, because in a specialized place like this, it's not an ordinary place. You need to find incentive for professional staff to retain them, because to replace them is very costly. But we now, living on what we generate here from patients' intake, is what we use to run the place, to include salary and running costs. So you see how very challenging it is. As for equipment, yes, we have other equipment. There are some that are worn off. There are some that are new, as I told you about a lot of these things. And there are some that we are still using. So for that, at present, if you are asking, our priority would be, number one, manpower. Number two, is assistance in running the place financially.
However, there are some disadvantages. People perceive it as a failure, which that may be fair to believe that, but it was an effort to try to avoid complete closure. We're hoping that Mr. Morris has some ideas and connections to change things around without necessarily needing to move in at the eye hospital, but we have to see if those plans can come to fruition quickly enough to make a difference for the hospital. In terms of the medical care, I feel that we're much stronger position than we were when I first came. One, we've got better equipment. For the most part, they're difficult to keep running, but they are better quality equipment. We struggle with the electrical system because it's been damaging the delicate machines like the x-ray machine and the laboratory equipment. Again, that's something that moving to the eye hospital would have been able to address, but we're also looking to see what we can do in this building facility.
The hospital is looking for assistance. They need to raise the amount of US $144,000 United States dollars. The major investment will be to renovate the main hospital building, rewire and install solar generated power to replace fuel generator. This will be the first hospital in the Republic of Liberia to install solar energy. This electrification will promote clean air and a neighborhood free of generator noise and pollution. This is a cost-intensive project, but it is going to pay off and be cost-effective in the long run. We are looking for your support. We are kindly asking you to help support the SDA Cooper Memorial Hospital so that it is back on its feet and can cater to the needed Liberians.
We need your support. If there's anything you can help us to restore Cooper Hospital to the memorial days of Dr. Nehemiah Cooper, we will be grateful.
Encourage you to come and visit the Cooper Hospital, sit with administration, sit with us, and let's see how we can work together. Because the hospital, that's when they serve SDA, serve Liberians. If I can retrospect, During the Ebola crisis, all major hospitals in Liberia closed, and only the SDA hospital was open. So we are sure that even if the government happens to hear that we're going towards that kind of position, I'm sure they will rescue. And we have already made our case with government, and we are sure that the government can't let the hospital go there, because it's also an issue with the government also, because as you know, most of the health care services provided now is done by the private sector, even before the war and after the war. So we are all major partners together with government to provide quality services in that country. So we are very humble. We have a request to government and to Liberian philanthropists to just visit with us, and then we will tour you around, and we can sit down and have a dialogue and see how you can let us know where you can help us to sustain.
We also have some really great supporters through other faith-based groups like LDS missions. They've been helping, especially at the eye hospital, with equipment, because the eye equipment is extremely expensive and they're very delicate, and so to replace any broken equipment is difficult. But those sort of things help us to provide quality care for our patients at a reduced cost. And that is really our mission here, is that we want to provide care that the Liberian people can afford as best that we can. So if we can improve anything in the care that we offer, we try to do so. I hope people can get that message, because although the building is older and doesn't look necessarily as attractive as other new facilities, we do have a quality care to offer our patients. We have some of the best nursing staff in the country, very dedicated, very good at their job, and that's the message we want to send out to people, that we are attempting to offer quality care, even if it doesn't look as beautiful on the outside as it could.